I feel like that kind of relates to like when people like overthink why we're here and all that stuff, like existentialism and all that, and they're like, oh, but it's like we'll never know. At least not in our lifetime. So don't waste your time.
And I think with the existentialism thing, it's like I think the main takeaway out of that should be that we assign the meaning and not that there isn't meaning. Because people get focused on the idea that there isn't an inherent meaning to things, but what they don't realize is that on that same coin, it's not that there isn't meaning, it's that meaning is arbitrary. Well, what's the difference here? Like, either there isn't meaning or it's arbitrary. Like, who cares? It seems like it's the same, but it's not. Meaning being arbitrary means that we assign it. Like, we pick that something is meaningful. All of it only comes from people and humans that make it up. And if that's the case, then you have every power to create meaning in your life. Now, it's scary because it also means if there's a lack of meaning, that's 100% on you.
Yep.
But once you like free yourself to realize that meaning can be anything, and that meaning can just be like make you day to day, or it could be to get out of bed if you're depressed, or it could be to like make yourself a meal, or it could be to, if you're a CEO of a big ass company, like it's to make shit happen and to do this and do that, do the things that like uniquely you are positioned to do. You guys probably like Dr. K. I know you don't know who Dr. K is. He's a Twitch.
I just heard you talk about him.
Yeah. So he's a Twitch, like, he does like therapy sessions basically on Twitch.
With random people?
With like streamers or like people that submit problems. He'll talk to them. And basically he takes like an Eastern approach.
Does he have like a lot of experience in this subject? Or
yeah.
Does he...
So he's like a Harvard.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was like, what, isn't the other guy on Twitch called like Dr. something?
Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a legitimate doctor or if it was just like a joke. That's all I was like, oh,
another doctor.
You're like, no, this is a legitimate doctor.
No, not Dr. Pepper, bro.
Not the doc.
Not the doc. Yeah, he talks through stuff like that with people, and he tries to do that. He tries to like make you realize like, yeah, you have to make whatever the meaning is. The meaning that he's trying to give people is this idea of like Dharma, that there's a role that you play in society and that you have unique things that you can do based on your current abilities and where you are and like what your obligations are to the people in the society around you. And that if you can just get a sense for where your place is in there, you can find confidence in doing what like you uniquely are positioned to do, or that what you feel like you're drawn to doing. And so it's like twofold. It's like identifying your place in the structure of everything, which some people have a problem with, but it's a lot of the time it's bringing you back to a grounded place where like you can feel comfortable with what you're doing, because ultimately like the only person that has to live your life every day is you.
Yep.
And so we like the main goal in therapy is just make it to where that's bearable for you at the very least. And then we want to make that enjoyable for you, or at least.
Isn't it crazy how that step alone is so difficult for some people?
Yeah. And it's so sad that people live in that.
But it's like you don't have control over it.
No.
It's so
well,
hard. I mean, yeah.
People can help you out of it, but it's very unlikely that you'll just pull yourself out of it.
Yeah, but like you can't just like change who you are. You know what I mean? Like as far as
Yeah.
physically. I know a lot of people struggle with that part. So it's like,
yeah,
damn,
if you have clinical depression.
You really got to get through that first stage on its own before you can even start enjoying anything.
Yeah. that stuff you have to have a reason to do stuff, you know? And so what Dr. K gives that to people is he says like, look, like, what do you know that you have to do? Like, well, like there is no next step. There are only steps. You're in the middle of a path and you're just standing still. Like there's just like forward and you can't even go backwards. Nope. So it's either you're standing still or you're moving forward. And even when you're standing still, it's like, I would say it's like one of those people movers at the airport. Like it'll just keep pushing underneath you, and you can struggle and fight to stay in one spot. But like once you realize that all of your energy is going into staying in that one spot, and you direct all that energy moving forward, you'd be surprised at what you can accomplish. Like you have no idea.
It's so weird you're saying that, because even today I was just thinking about this. How I guess this is more like stages in life, but like I mean, when I was in college, I was doing dumb stuff, drinking every day with my friends and stuff. It was really fun. And then you were the one who mainly pointed it out, is like when I came home and like had that time when I wasn't working, you were like, you definitely seem different. Like you're not in the same kind of mentality you are. And I didn't even really notice it. Is the funny part. But like, and I would go back to Arizona like once a month at least, or see my friends like all the time as much as I could. And I think I was kind of doing that. Like I was kind of walking back on that moving platform or moving scale. And I was trying to stay in that step of my life.
It was never the same,
and
huh?
No, I hated it. The first time I went back, I was miserable. literally, I think I cried with my friends, and I was like, I hate this.
Aww.
It was rough. No, it was seriously rough. Like, my friend felt so bad because I was staying at her place, too, and she threw this great party for me. And, like, halfway through, I was like, this sucks. And it wasn't the people. It wasn't, like, it was just the vibe. Like, I just wasn't in that same stage anymore.
Yeah.
And I felt like, even after that, I kept, like, going back. I was like, oh, next time it'll be different. It'll be different.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until, like, literally, like, today, I was like, oh, like, you're getting out of that stage right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're finally stepping out of college stage. And you're starting to, like, I got this job. I'm starting to, like, actually do stuff. People rely on me now for, like today. Some guy, I don't know, actually, I did something at work that I did throughout the week. And some guy did a presentation on it today.
Oh.
I can't say anything more than that, really. But, like, yeah. And it was, like, something that I did. I saw it physically. I watched it online. And I watched this guy give a presentation on something that I created.
Yeah.
And so it was, like, really cool. And, like, that's why I was like, okay, like, I'm in this next stage. I'm actually, like, it's weird. I don't love it. I obviously want to go back to being stupid. But, like, it's kind of fun to see yourself progressing into a whole new step. Is
there something unique about that, like producing something and seeing that your work has manifested in that thing?
Oh, 100%. When you, it's even like this. If after this you sat down and just, I mean, obviously you're not video editing like you did that one time. But it's like sitting down and like, I did that.
Yeah.
Like, this is something I created. Yeah. And then, like, even today, just, I mean, my boss said, hey, you know, do this task for me that I didn't really know how to do 100%. I tried my best. I did it. And she was like, hey, great job. And even that just like I was thinking about how important recognition from someone else is.
Yeah.
Someone else telling you do a great job, it could be nothing for them. Like, they could, like, they don't even remember it. But you're like, dude, that felt great. Like, someone who's like higher up than me or like, you know, I respect.
Yeah.
Telling you did it. Oh, it feels incredible.
And they had no reason to. It wasn't their work.
Yeah,
like
they literally just said it because like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
You did a good job. I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
And it's, so this new stage is great. I think 100% agree that you just got to be ready to move forward and go with it.
Yeah.
You got to go with the flow.
Even if it means leaving some things behind, you know?
Which is rough.
Yeah.
Don't love it, but, you know.
And it's tough to figure out if you're interested in why. Like, it's tough to find what the why was. Like, was it because you got a new job? Was it because you moved out of Arizona? Was it because you had that time in between getting the job in Arizona? Like,
definitely the time.
Yeah.
But it's all the factors.
So like to give you guys some background, I think you already know this, but basically when right around like maybe like towards the end of Asia, like I stopped working pretty much. Yeah. And when I came back, I had an office and stuff and I did some work, but I didn't really like work. And I just smoked weed all the time and hung out with like my roommates and whatever. And like
yes. Okay, now I remember what you're talking about. Okay.
I tried to enjoy this kind of life of retirement or whatever when I was in Asia, and it didn't work. And I assumed it was because I was missing the things in America, or that there was something less about that accomplishment when it was done overseas. So I tried to have the same kind of thing here because I did some math and I was like, if rent was only this much, like, yeah, I could set something up and then I don't have to, I work like maybe 4 hours a week or something and I can maintain this. Like, that's fine. But when I did that, there was an emptiness. And I still can't put a finger on what that was. It was just that there wasn't something there.
It's just you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's fun at first.
You're not pushing something forward every day and you see progress on it. Like what you said, when you look at the thing and you know where all the work went, it felt like I lost a bunch of time, but I didn't have anything.
But it also relates, like, when you're in school and you're, like, college and you're messing around, drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
There's always that thing in the back of your head. You're like, at least I'm getting a degree.
Yeah, you have
like,
school.
I'm progressing my life. So it's like when you have that post-college, I think a lot of people, I'm assuming, because I have a buddy who also graduated, have post-college depression. Because, especially if you don't have a job instantly after, which a lot of people don't get a job instantly after. Yeah, because college is a whole scam kind of thing. But we're not going to get into that.
Okay.
But yeah, people have this post-college depression where they want to like keep doing the fun stuff they were doing, but now they're not doing anything else like productive. You just get bummed out.
Yeah.
You're like, now I'm just getting drunk like an idiot. Like before, it was like, okay, getting drunk, and I wake up tomorrow and I get my classes done. I get my homework done. There's nothing keeping you going as far as productivity, and that's so like meaningless.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're doing nothing.
There's nothing to look at and say like, this is the thing. Like, this is what I'm doing. When I was in Asia, I felt like I had that, like what you guys have with college, I had with like, oh, I'm in Asia, like I'm traveling. Haha, this is cool.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't doing anything. But when I moved back here, there wasn't any of that. And because I didn't have like a background thing I could even look at, I really felt that. Yeah, man, it's a rough thing because it's like, I don't think I could honestly explain that to somebody if they didn't have a similar experience. Like, because I talk to people who work all the time, and for somebody that works all the time, it's very difficult to imagine that, like, well, when you don't do anything, it's not going to be fun for you. Like, the balance is somewhere in between.
Yep.
And and you know, we often find ourselves stuck on one side or the other. It would feel like of the pole, and so we always like the grass is always greener, and we're not working towards balance. We're always thinking like, well, aim for the moon, miss, I'm gonna land among the stars. So like I'm gonna aim to be retired, or like I'm gonna aim to like have financial independence or whatever. And so you're picking that pure state as the aim, and once you get there and you realize that that's not the thing, then a whole new kind of depression comes in. That you built this thing and you're looking at this thing that you put hours and hours of work into, but it's not what you wanted. And I worry about that with putting a lot of time into something else that's productive. Like it has to serve other people. Yeah,
that
like
sounds
college.
like the definition of college right there for a lot of people, where it's they put in 4 years of work and get nothing out of it.
100%. I didn't even come up with that, but that's a much better idea.
I mean, yeah.
College is perfect.
Especially because at least like 50% of majors don't, I mean, unless you're like engineering, you're probably not going to get, if you're sorry, let me try again. Unless you're in engineering or you are top 5 to 10% of people at your college, you're probably not getting a job straight out of college, at least